Okay, next we're going to solve systems of equations using the substitution method. In order for the substitution method to work well, we have to find one of the variables that's by itself. What do I mean by itself? Its coefficient is 1. So it's just an x or a y by itself. Now you can do substitution with any system of equations, but in order for it to really work easily, you want to find a variable that's by itself, an x or y. Since we have the x there, what we're going to do is take that equation and solve it for x. What does that mean? We're just going to subtract or add everything to the other side. So we end up with x is equal to negative 3y minus 7. So this is different than solving for y equals mx plus b. It's not the same thing. If we solve for y, it would turn out to be the same thing. But don't get this confused with y equals mx plus b. We're solving for x. That means we're isolating the x, getting the x by itself. Then watch what we're going to do with that. We're going to take that and use the next equation. You see that x in the next equation? Well, we're going to substitute our new definition for x. Since x is equal to negative 3y minus 7, we can substitute negative 3y minus 7 for x. Leave everything else the same, and then we're going to go ahead and do our distribution, and we get negative 12y minus 28. Then we still have the plus 3y equals negative 1. Combining like terms, we have negative 12 plus 3y, that's negative 9y, minus 28 equals negative 1. Then we're going to add 28 to both sides. And use your calculator if you need to, so that you don't make any unnecessary mistakes. Negative 1 plus 28 is positive 27. We're going to divide by 9, and we end up with y is equal to negative 3. So we know what y is, but we're not done yet until we know what x is as well. So we can take any one of these equations, the x plus 3y equals negative 7, 4x plus 3y equals negative 1. We can even take the equation that we created over here that tells us a definition for what x is if we know what y is. And I'm going to use that one because that one's going to be easier in this case. So x is equal to negative 3 times y, which is negative 3 minus 7. So x is equal to negative 3 times negative 3 is 9 minus 7 is equal to 2. So y is equal to negative 3. X is equal to 2. And so the solution, remember we have to write the x first. The solution is 2 comma negative 3. So when we're substituting, we want to find an equation that has an x or a y by itself. Then we're going to solve for that x or y in that equation, and we're going to take the new definition of x or y and substitute it for x or y in the second equation. And we're going to solve for one of the variables, take that value, plug it into any one of our equations, and solve for the second variable. So we'll stop here and we'll take a look at another example in the next video.